Hey Derek, I got your Borderlands helmet here. As you can see, it came out really nice. The different photos that you sent me sort of varied in terms of how the colors worked out, so I had to take some interpretations there, but the detail painting, as you can see, came really nice. Really does have that, especially with the weathering and everything in here, it does have that sort of Borderlands cartoon effect to it, and the weathering and whatnot. So you can see, got that in there, and the weathering and the helmet and whatnot. So I think this came out as a really nice piece. Certainly looks cool. Now, because of this piece, like the way the internal dimensions work, there's the main part, and then there's this gap up here where the helmet is that goes sort of inward. So this ring is what sits against your head. So your head's not actually hitting this top up here. It's just sort of sitting along there. And what I do, because our heads are pretty much exactly the same size, is have it sort of tilted ever so slightly forward. So instead of straight down's like this, and then when I tilt it, lines up perfectly with my eyes. And I think your head circumference was like 24.5, which is pretty much exactly what mine is. So that scaling should work out just fine. I wasn't really sure where we landed on the LED eyes, but my recommendation generally for my customers is, if you're planning on wearing it, to not do that, because they're, even in a really bright room, it's practically impossible to see through them. They say that you can, like when you're advertising them, but in my experience, it's nearly impossible. And that's if you're in a bright room. So if there's any darkness, like, you're just not going to be able to see. And then when they're off, it sort of defeats the purpose. So it had sort of a yellowish color to the eyes. So as you can see, I went ahead and used gold visor material in there. It's one way as well, so you can't see your eyes when you got the helmet on. And I think it gives it, a cool pop, cool effect. Better than, and if you want to take them out and just have your eyes in there, they're just glued in there, so it wouldn't be too hard. But I think that looks really cool. Actually, gonna be sad to see this thing go with the amount of work that went into it. I think it'll be a great wearing piece for like a Comic-Con, but also a great display piece. It just really pops with all the design elements in it. So really proud of this one. So that covers the main details of the helmet itself. I'm also going to include a bunch of pre-cut foam, since I don't have your head here to make those minute adjustments. So this big one, you may choose to put in that top cavity that I talked about, but I don't really feel that would be necessary, but I'll throw it in there just in case. And then these ones, I think this is probably way more foam than you'll actually need, because this is scaled pretty closely to your head circumference. But, like these skinny ones here, that upper rim that sits on your forehead, you might want to put a couple of those around there just for comfort. It's smooth on the inside, so it actually, for me, I feel like it sits really comfortably there, and I would just put some foam on the sides to hold it onto my head so it moves with me better. But put it on, mess around with different places. You could put these in with hot glue, super glue, whatever you have around. And I would maybe think about like the jaw area and the sides of your head, because once you have those contact points in, you don't need to worry about the rest of the helmet, because that'll hold it in place. So, put the helmet on, feel where there's room, glue one of these in wherever you want to put those in, put it on again, see how much more room there is, and if you need to fill in more space, you can glue one right on top and just stack these to fill in more space. But I do recommend making small adjustments, since it's hard to go backwards once you've added too many. It's much easier to add another layer if you need to. So you have a bunch of these strips, and these, which are slightly thicker, if you need to make bigger adjustments, or maybe there's like a finger width of space, you want to start with this one and then make small adjustments from there. And then, of course, this thick piece as well. So I will be including all of these in that package. And if you have any questions about the helmet, feel free to reach out. And I hope you enjoy it, man. Came out really cool. All right, thanks.